Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to find the inverse of a function where it's a little bit more complicated to find the answer. Um, the, the steps are the same. It's just solving for y in this one is a little bit difficult to do. So we're going to go through this, and hopefully this will kind of help with the homework. So, first step, when finding an inverse function for this function here, we're going to start by replacing the f of x with y, like we did before. So just plug in y where there's that f of x, okay? And then remember that for this function here, the inverse function switches x and y. So what we're going to do here is just switch x and y like we've done before. So everywhere there's an x, put a y. Everywhere there's a y, put an x. Switch them. Okay. Now where this one gets a little bit more complicated is our next step here is just to solve for y. Okay. But you'll notice here there's two different y's in our equation. So that's what makes this a little bit harder. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by, notice there's a fraction here. I don't really love fractions, so let's maybe get rid of that. I'm going to times both sides by y minus 7 to clear out that fraction. Okay. So times both sides of the equation by y minus 7 to clear out the denominator. What we're going to end up with here is y minus 7x is equal to, and then these cancel out here, so we get 2y plus 3. Okay. So at least now we don't have fractions. What we're going to do next here is just to solve for y. There's y's on both sides of the equation. So notice it is easy to solve for y here. I could get y equals and then some stuff over here. It's just there will be a y in your answer, and you don't want that. You want all the y's together, just y equals something with x in it. No other y should be on the other side of the equation. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to distribute out this y minus 7 and this x here. Okay, just distribute that out, make that a little bit better. So we get yx minus 7x is equal to 2y plus 3. Okay. And so now, in order to solve for y, we have these two separate y's. We're going to get those on the same side of the equation, and then all the other stuff we're going to move to the other side of the equation. Okay. So I'm going to maybe subtract this 2y from both sides just to get the y's on the same side of the equation, because we're trying to get y alone here. So we have yx minus 2y and then minus 7x still equals 3. And now, so the y's are on the same side. Let's just move anything else that doesn't have a y in it. We'll move it over to the other side. So there's this negative 7x. Let's move that over to the other side. We're going to add 7x on both sides there. Okay. And what we end up getting is yx minus 2y is equal to 7x plus 3, or it could be 3 plus 7x, it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is kind of the tricky part. We now have y on the same side. Both these y's are on the same side. We want to solve for y. So what we're going to do here is we need there just to be one y. So where there's these y's in both terms, we're going to factor that y out of both of those terms there. So there is the greatest common factor of y. We're going to just take it out. We get x minus 2. Right? If we were to distribute this y in, we would get the same thing that we had there. So I'm just going to factor out that y to get it kind of alone there. Okay, so we factored out the y. Now to solve for y in there, we just need to get rid of this x minus 2. It's timesing by x minus 2, so let's divide by x minus 2 on both sides. Okay. And so that will cancel out. We get y equals 7x plus 3 over x minus 2. And that is our inverse function. Okay. So that one's a little bit more tricky, specifically in the solving part of it. The steps are the same though. It's just in order to solve for y, what we did, right, is we got all the things with y to the same side, all the other stuff over to the other side of the equation, okay? And then once we did that, we could factor out this y here and then divide by the other stuff to get y alone, okay? So hopefully that helps with that. There's a few homework problems on that, and I will see you in the next video.